Impression aux États-Unis pour les jeunes cinéphiles.
Yeah, I mean, she was. I grew up going to video stores and stuff, so, back when those still existed. And my mother, when I was a kid, my mother had lived in France for a long time, and she was showing me a lot of French movies growing up, primarily actually because she wanted me to pick up the language, which obviously I didn't do. And yet, I think she wanted me to fall in love with the language and the culture, and in a way I did, but I fell in love with the films themselves more. And I don't know, I think Claire was a little bit of a game changer for me because she was showing me some, new forms of expression that were like defiantly modern. Like they weren't, they didn't harken back to a bygone era of, Ophuls and Jean Vigo, things like that. It was something else. And so it's funny because actually Piala's film and Claire's film were not made that many years apart. I think they were probably made 5 or 6 years apart. However, one sort of is something sort of defiantly classical in a way, radical but classical, and then I think that Claire's film 5 or 6 years later represents a sort of passing of the baton into new, more evocative, progressive ways of telling stories.
Vous a défini pour le public, qui est Funny Games US de Michael Haneke, qui est un film quand même très particulier puisque c'est le remake d'un film par son auteur quelques années plus tard. Donc, je me demandais sur un film comme ça comment se passe le travail d'acteur, puisqu'il y a déjà un modèle qui existe. Est-ce qu'on a envie de s'en écarter complètement? Est-ce que vous avez vu beaucoup le film Haneke avant ou pas du tout, pour au contraire faire autre chose?
Yeah, I think that a lot of other members of that cast were more concerned than I was at that point about sort of redefining their roles, and understandably. But I was just very happy to be working with Michael. I'd met him many years before that at a screening, and I had actually exchanged email addresses with him, and he was kind enough to write me some emails every once in a while when I asked him some sort of a question, as a young fan, basically. And so, when I found out he was making Funny Games, I also actively pursued that. And it was a really smooth process. It actually just worked out very quickly, and then Michael and I really got along, and it was hard. It was hard for him to make that film. It was his first movie in America, and it's proven to be his last film in America. He was trying to do something unique for the medium. I mean, his concept. And some people, disagree. Some people feel that it's a very interesting concept, and some people don't like the concept at all. But his idea was, okay, if I, direct the same opera in a different country, or different play in a different language, the choreography stays the same, the blocking stays the same, the direction stays the same. And I think he was also just curious about doing something that had never really been done, and so I was happy to do it. And I mean, the thing was is that I had a lot of faith in him, and so it was really no problem at all to do something that had been done before. I probably could have hired me to sweep the floors when they were done at night. I would have been happy to do it. Yeah. So you were asking me about.
To be more precise about this very last aspect.
About what I'm in, when I said that I'm not interested in what I can't do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, basically, my notion about like the medium, and probably all mediums really, is that they're a lot more boundless than we are presented with on a daily basis. I mean, or a weekly basis with whatever is coming out week after week. And so I think that I've always been interested in working with people who are interested in exploring those, you know, new horizons, and obviously, or I'm sorry, not wrong word, what's the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, occasionally, sorry, I haven't slept a lot. Occasionally, that means dealing with, you know, fairly dark subject matter that is not that easy to finance or not that easy to get people excited about. But it's important to keep telling those stories, you know, because it can't all just be Game of Thrones, you know.